Hi, everybody. Welcome to our back to school presentations. This is definitely the strangest back to school I have ever had. I might actually be more nervous doing it this way than I am presenting to everybody in person. But I'm going to go through as much as I can. I also don't want to keep you too long. So if you have any questions afterwards, please reach out. First and foremost, Mrs. Christ and I have been trying to send regular updates, and we actually created a website. I emailed out the link to that. Hopefully you all received it. If you didn't, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to send you the link. We're going to go through and make sure that we have everybody's correct email addresses. We took them out of real time, and now we have everybody's updated contact information, so we'll be double checking that. But if you are not receiving, like I said, emails or the links to the website, or we also sent out a parent survey, please let us know, and we'll take care of that and get that to you. Okay, so with that being said, goals for fifth grade, it's definitely our priorities have changed a little bit this year, certainly. We're first looking to get students comfortable with all the online platforms that we use regularly, and we've done a lot of work with that over the past few days that we've been in school, and the students are really taking to it nicely. So we've been using those platforms, and we continue to get more comfortable with them because we don't know what's going to happen. So we want to make sure that they are set up for success should things turn and we have to go remote, even if it's just for a little while. A big focus this year, it's a focus every year, but it's really important to us this year that we focus on the student's social and emotional development. So we're doing a lot of different activities for that. I incorporate that into the health grade, which I'll talk about. We want to develop good work ethics, study habits, organizational skills. We want to teach students to work more independently, to be more responsible and accountable. We tell them that this is now the point in time where they can't blame mom or dad or grandma or any of their family members or siblings or the dog for things that they have to take more responsibility. We want to really help encourage a growth mindset, letting them know that it's okay to make mistakes. So we're trying to expand their thinking and problem solving skills, and making them realize that everybody makes mistakes, and that's what we're here to take those mistakes and learn from. Reinforcing principles of good character, connecting subject matter to real life. We find that that's really, in fifth and sixth grade is really where that becomes even more real for the kids. They start to make connections, and we encourage you to make those connections for them at home as well. And then one thing I really try to focus on as well is teaching about digital citizenship and global citizenship, but that's not going to come right away. That'll come a little bit later in the year. Okay, so very quickly, the math curriculum is a continuation of the math curriculum that they've been having. It's the Envisions. I can't stand the glare from my glasses, sorry. It's the Envisions 2.0 book. We already logged the students onto the online component. They actually took like a little benchmark assessment. Most assessments and assignments will be online. They were online already for the most part in fifth grade. I know the students are more used to the platform online, obviously, excuse me, because of everything that happened in the spring. So their teachers pivoted to that. That's actually benefiting us in the beginning of fifth grade because they're more used to it being online. But we also supplement with IXL, Khan Academy. If the students haven't already told you about SumDog, you will hear about that. I'm sure they love SumDog. Students will be setting goals for themselves, and they'll be working toward reaching those goals. Will be individual, personalized goals. The one thing that I need to emphasize with regards to fifth grade math is the students have to know their times tables. We had a little SumDog competition where I had them complete 100 times tables problems. Almost all of them are finished with already, but I really want to emphasize that knowing the times tables, whether it's you using flashcards with them going onto SumDog and practicing independently, or using any of the numerous applications that they have for phones and iPods and iPads, they can download those. I'd be happy to get you a list of some of the better free ones, but they have to be practicing their times tables, even if it's 10 minutes a day. Science curriculum, again, we are using Science Dimensions book, which is the program that they used in fourth grade, and similar to math, it's a textbook and a workbook all in one. Previously, I've not used as much of the online component, but again, kind of seeing, what happened to us in the spring, I did log them onto the online component of the book. The book itself is okay, in my opinion, but I like to supplement, and so do the other fifth grade teachers, with things like Mystery Science and Generation Genius and Super Science Magazine and a few other ones. So study jams and things like that. So we do try to change it up and not just always work out of the book. We also incorporate STEAM activities, debates. They might look a little bit different this year, but we do something called philosophical chairs, and I also include coding projects. Health, we use a variety of materials, online articles and websites, including kidshealth.org. Some topics serve multiple purposes, so they're science and health if we're talking about something like the body systems. But incorporated into health is also social emotional learning, character education, study skills, digital citizenship, growth mindset. So all of that is encompassed into health and health activities and health grades. There are definitely not as many health grades as compared to other subjects, because we might do health, once a week, twice a week maximum. So we don't do health every day. But we do get enough in. Also, we cover things like March is National Nutrition Month. So in March, I do a whole big unit on nutrition. So some things are tied into specific topics each month. In terms of grading, I don't think this is a surprise to anyone. There's tests, there's quizzes, there's classwork and homework. And to be honest with you, I don't give a lot of homework. A lot of the homework is really classwork that needs to be completed. Or it might be assignments that I give on a Monday and it's due at the end of the week. I post everything for the students on Google Classroom, and when all the assignments are due, not all students are going to have the same assignments. For instance, if there's something in classwork that a student has finished in school, we do have reduced time now, so that definitely impacts things. But, some other students might have to finish it for homework, but not the whole class does not. So in that case, it's not going to necessarily be written on the board or written in Google Classroom if it only applies to maybe 2 or 3 children. So that's just for you to know. Class participation is the easiest grade, and so far they are off to a great start. They're all participating in class, which is awesome. Labs look a little bit differently this year, as do projects. We usually do a lot of small group labs and projects that we can't do at this point in time. So some of the activities I'm sending home as extended learning. Actually, they just got one today, which they have to complete on Seesaw, but they are inventing a school supply that they think that students might need. And they're going to have to, brainstorm and then build it and then take a picture or a video and explain all about it. The grading percentages are the same across all the fifth grade teachers. However, we all obviously all have our different styles and approaches and techniques, and we don't all do the exact same things. Grades tend to fluctuate between marking periods. That is perfectly normal. I'm sorry, my little picture box kind of gets in the way of the words, but first marking period is usually a great marking period for most students. Honestly, it's review. We're kind of easing into things. Second and third marking period is where it's harder. The material is harder, so things might drop off a little bit. The one thing I want to mention is I do give students the opportunity, particularly on a test, to earn back credit or earn back points. If they can show that they have mastered a skill in either the same fashion. It's like either a retake of some kind. It varies, but I do, my goal is to have them be successful. Sometimes they're not always successful on the first try. It might take them a couple of tries, and that applies to everybody. Okay, so extended learning is from 1:40 to 2:40, Monday through Friday. I am definitely available for office hours during that time to meet with students on an individual basis and to go over things. Monday and Wednesday have been designated the math, science, and health days. Tuesdays and Thursdays are for Mrs. Chris with language arts and social studies. I'll be honest with you, this is kind of a changing, evolving period, and it won't necessarily look the same each week. So, I have an example of what some of the activities could include. I definitely prepped the students that we will be doing small group meetings to review skills and materials, and actually I'm going to start that this week. When I send them an invitation through their email, actually, it will have a Meet link to it that they will click on, and they are expected to attend those meetings. If there's extenuating circumstances and they're not able to, that's one thing. I'm certainly not going to have it every Monday and Wednesday, but I would definitely like to be meeting with them at this point once a week in small groups. And so I am going to start that this Wednesday. And like I said, these are just some examples of some other activities that they may be given. So bear with us on the extended learning because we're kind of all feeling it out and how it's going to go. Just some miscellaneous things. Google Classroom, I noticed that most people are already signed up to receive notifications for their children's Google Classroom. You can almost receive like a summary update. It's not going to give you a whole lot of specifics because you're getting the parent view. If you really want to see what's going on in Google Classroom, log in, have your student log in and be looking over their shoulder. And that's the best way to really see what's going on in Google Classroom and what their assignments are. Chromebooks have to be charged nightly. We did realize that was kind of a problem this morning on a Monday morning, which is understandable, especially as we're all getting into the swing of things. But it's Monday morning and a lot of students forgot to charge their Chromebook Sunday night. So if you would just please, I told them to even set themselves a timer each night and to remind them that they do need to plug it in and to charge, and please again send the chargers back and forth because we don't have any extra. The kids can't share materials, so we want to make sure if it didn't charge that they have the opportunity to come in and charge it. If there's anything going on at home that we should know about, something related to your family, if someone is ill, if a pet dies, please let us know because, that does tend to affect the children, affects them in different ways. Sometimes it doesn't even always affect them right away, but it's good for us to know that. So if they're, just shoot us an email and that way we kind of can keep an eye out for the student, and it will explain if they're a little quieter one day than the next. If you're sending in money for anything, please make sure that it is in an envelope and it is labeled with my name as the homeroom, the student's name, and what it's for. And also, if there's a change in transportation, a student is going to Giuseppe's on Friday and they're going to be a walker rather than taking the bus. Those are all things that we need to keep track of. Or if they're, going home with someone else, please. And again, that doesn't have to be a formal, a handwritten note. It can just be an email to us. That will be fine. If there's any urgent messages, if there's a last minute change in transportation, please notify the office because we are not always checking our email. The day is going very fast, particularly because it's a half day. So we're not always on our email to get those notifications in a timely manner. So if it's urgent or last minute, please notify the office. Students will need earbuds or headsets. Again, it does not have to be a fancy pair. We actually don't want it to be a fancy pair since they're going to keep them in school. But they do need those. If you're having trouble getting a hold of some, please let us know and we'll try to make accommodations for that. But they really do need those as soon as possible. And they are also welcome to bring in other supplies, which we told them if there's folders, if there's things they want to use to decorate their desk, magnets or window clings, anything that's not permanent and could be easily removed, they're welcome to bring in to decorate their desk because this is an unusual year in that their desk is their desk. They usually share it with other people. So we want them to feel as homey as possible in their space. Okay, and finally, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I encourage you to. I take a lot of pictures of the classroom, but please only communicate with me if you would via email. And I have my email address there. It's also on the website we created. I'll be honest, I'm a busy mom of 3 children myself. Just today, my 8th grader, my 5th grader, my 3rd grader started school in Middletown. So, I'm trying to monitor obviously what they're doing. And now that activities have fortunately started up again, I'm driving somebody somewhere every night of the week. So I am in the thick of this with you. So I appreciate your patience with me. And we will certainly be as patient as we can with the kids, especially as we're all kind of getting back up and running. But I just wanted to let you know that, like I said, I don't really check my email after 4:30 because I'm usually running around somewhere in Middletown. But anyway, we look really forward to a great year. The kids are off to a great start. They're a great group. They seem very enthusiastic. I think a lot of the first day and first week jitters have subsided somewhat. So we look forward to now starting to dig into the curriculum. And again, we appreciate everything that you are doing on your end to make sure that this is running as smoothly as possible. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Mrs. Chris with any questions or concerns. Thank you so much for listening.